Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to Ballin' with the Boys. Today's going to be a shorter video than usual. Today we're going to talk about the trades that happened on trade deadline day, which was November 1st. And man, was it active on that day.
They definitely made sure to get in the last trades that they wanted to, yeah.
Most definitely. First trade that I'm going to talk about, man, it had me surprised. Lions and Vikings. Let's talk about the Lions and what they got first, because I want to save the most surprised thing for the last. Lions got a second-round pick in 2023 and a 2024 third-round pick. Then the Vikings, for those picks, got T.J. Hockenson. Like, what are the Lions thinking about giving up one of their top players?
You know, honestly, I think his biggest thing was they probably was worried about the health of T.J. Hockenson. And so they're just going to dump him away while they can for as much as they could get out of him while he is still healthy and performing. But they got a rookie tight end, actually, that I think is going to pop up on the scene, and he might show out James Mitchell.
Well, I mean, hopefully, because, I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he is coming back, but his health status is up in the air. He has been hurt twice. Then you got Josh Reynolds, you know, he's iffy. He won't see as many targets as if Amon-Ra is still playing. So hopefully this tight end can step up and do as good as T.J. Hockenson would. But on top of that, the Vikings also got a 2023 fourth-round pick and a 2024 conditional fourth. So who would you say won that trade?
You know, I mean, I think the Vikings definitely won that. I think that T.J. Hockenson going to the Vikings is going to benefit their wide receiver core a great amount. But that honestly just depends on how Minnesota uses them, because they had a tight end in Minnesota that seemingly was very reliable, and he didn't get very many targets. So,
I mean, hopefully, you know, it works out for Hockenson. Also, I could see it, like, taking away most receptions from Jefferson. You know, not taking away most receptions, but taking away the workload. Jefferson don't have to always get relied on, you know. Hockenson, he's a great tight end. It's just, now with probably being with Kirk Cousins other than Jared Goff, you know, the start of the season was different, but now as we're looking at it now, Jared Goff has tumbled down. Kirk Cousins, he's, you know, it's Kirk Cousins. He's up in the air, though, but with having Jefferson and Hockenson, I think it would be good reception.
yeah, I mean, you definitely got some star receivers on the team in Minnesota now. So Kirk Cousins has some backup, and he shouldn't be choking like he does, you know, every year prior. But at the end of the day, if T.J. Hockenson doesn't get used as much, he might actually be more beneficial to Minnesota that way because he'll stay healthy.
Most definitely. Let's hop into the next trade that happened. Another, like, brain buster for me, man. Steelers are getting a 2023 second-round pick as the Bears get Chase Claypool.
You know, for the Bears, I think that's a great move.
Oh, most definitely.
For the Steelers, I think it's a little more iffy, but it seems like they might be on more of a rebuild, and they're trying to get rid of that old, what they would consider their old wide receiver core that they had before that wasn't working out to them, you know. Now it's Pickett to Pickett's time, of course, you know. I mean, they got Deontay Johnson there under the wide receiver one still, but if he's getting that main coverage, Pickett's is going to be getting open.
Well, you can't spell Pickett without pick, so we'll see how he does today.
We'll see how he does in the game.
To me, I'm going to go with the Bears won that trade. I mean, even though it was a second-round pick, it takes off the workload of Darnell Mooney trying to always, you know, be the target. So it helps out a lot with Chase Claypool being there, and Justin Fields has another target he can throw to. I mean, so hopefully the Bears can actually step up with Chase Claypool, and hopefully Claypool will be a lot of help for them.
Yeah, I mean, since I'm the Bears in this trade, I'm going to have to say the Bears won the trade, because in our league I traded a second rounder for Chase Claypool.
Okay.
So I'm hoping he's going to do big things.
Hopefully. Broncos. After getting Russ Wilson, what is going on with them? On this trade, dude. So the Broncos got San Francisco's first from the Dolphins, a 2024 fourth, and Chase Edmonds, but the Dolphins got Bradley Chubb and a 2025 fifth.
Yeah, I mean,
Why would you give up such a great player?
on the Dolphins' part, I mean, wow, that's going to help their defense
dude,
tremendously.
definitely.
And for the Broncos, I hope they got somebody stepping up into that missing piece because he's definitely one of the pieces of glue that holds that defense together.
Right. When I first saw this trade, I was a little concerned because I was like, Chase Edmonds, why would you? I mean, Mostert's good, but he's also injury prone.
Yep.
So we'll get later on down the road with that trade. But with the Dolphins getting Bradley Chubb, that helps the secondary a lot better.
It definitely does, and like you was talking about them trading away Chase Edmonds, creating a running back issue for him. But I mean, Chase Edmonds, I think that in Denver, he's going to take that start over Melvin
You
Gordon
think so?
in a couple weeks.
What about Latavius Murray?
I think that he's more of their power back ball guy that they just hand to when they need somebody that's going to run through the line and whoever's in their way and get as far as they can. Because he's that guy that's just like a wrecking ball when he runs.
Yeah, but Edmonds, I mean, clearly he's just not good. He went from Arizona to Miami, now Miami to Denver. That's got to tell you something about Edmonds. Like, they just don't see potential in him.
That's fair and definitely shaky, but I mean, over a Melvin Gordon who's starting to get up there in age, who cannot see as many touches as he used to in the game, they're almost forcing themselves to feed Chase Edmonds the ball, if not the same amount, but more, as Melvin Gordon's body goes through the season and gets more and more worked down. I mean, how old is he?
I'm really not sure, but I know he's been in the league for quite some time. But as you were saying too, as it becoming an issue for Miami's running back situation, Miami actually traded again with San Francisco.
Yep, and then they seemingly solved that issue.
Yeah, they traded for Jeff Wilson as San Francisco gets a fifth round pick. In 2023. So Jeff Wilson. Clearly, he took a lot of the workload after Elijah Mitchell went down in San Francisco. He has potential. He's young, too. So, with him going to Miami, I see this being a great thing. I see him taking the starting spot in Miami.
I definitely see him beating out Raheem Mostert in Miami. I can agree with that. I'm a little worried on San Francisco. Like I said, I mean, I think that they lost that McCaffrey trade in the first place, trading away all those picks for him. And now they're trading away Jeff Wilson. Their running back depth is going to slowly diminish, and now they're relying on McCaffrey's health.
Right.
Which, as we've seen in the league so far, isn't the best thing to bet on.
So speaking about McCaffrey's health, I mean, what are you guys saying? Elijah Mitchell's going to come back and he's going to be healthier than ever? No. The dude is injury prone as well. So now what are you going to do if they both go out? I mean, granted, Elijah Mitchell's coming back later in the season, but it still don't stop him from getting hurt again.
Exactly.
So what are you going to do when they both go out? I mean, granted, you have a rookie to pick, but you're going to lose your top two players eventually, in my eyes, of course, because they're both injury prone. So it's just like San Francisco, you just got rid of, one of your good backups that actually can stay healthy. So Miami won that trade overall. Miami actually won both of those trades.
I definitely can agree with that.
So let's hop into the Steelers and Commanders trade. Steelers get Will Jackson III and a conditional 2025 7th round pick, as Commanders get a conditional 2025 6th. To be honest with you, it just seems like Will Jackson either wanted out of there or they just did not like him. But to me, I think Steelers getting him is definitely going to help out because, as you could tell in the Eagles game, they need some help.
They definitely do need some help out there. And I think Will Jackson will provide that for him. And I mean, for such, honestly, what most would consider a low draft capital, it's really not a terrible pickup for him. I'd say that they probably won that trade.
Most definitely. So there wasn't much on that trade, nothing real big. But this next trade, dude, I'm gonna low key say that the Jags probably got this one, just because how good the player is. But Falcons get a complex draft compensation that can be worth a 2023 fifth round and a 2024 second round, and the Jags are getting Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is a good wide receiver now. Granted, he is suspended.
He is. For what?
Granted, he was suspended for betting on the Falcons to win against the Jags.
Yeah, that's right.
And now he's on the Jaguars for next season. So
I bet he's not betting on the Falcons to beat the Jags anymore.
probably not. But I'm going to say the Jags won this one because Calvin Ridley's a great wide receiver. It opens up more for wide receiver options. He's young, and it takes workload off of Travis Etienne, off of Christian Kirk, and it gives Trevor Lawrence more options to throw to. Granted, he has options now, but with Calvin Ridley being a lot younger than other wide receivers there, it will open up more doors for him.
I would say it almost gives Trevor Lawrence a solidified wide receiver one position in Jacksonville. That what they have right now is a little shaky, you know.
Right.
And I think adding him and Evan Ingram on that wide receiver core as well, having all those guys with Trevor Lawrence on that offense, I think that they could get it clicking as long as they actually work well together and get that chemistry.
Most
rolling.
definitely. I mean, we seen at the beginning of the season. I mean, you know, they were doing good. They looked good, but now they're starting to fall downhill.
And now only Trevor Lawrence Harrells look good. I don't know what it is, man.
He's gonna be next on the Head and Shoulders
Yeah,
commercial.
no kidding. Troy Polamalu, you're fired.
Now they'll have it probably with him, Mahomes, and Lawrence. Next trade, dude. As an Indiana local, dude, I can't believe this happened. Colts trade Naeem Hines to the Bills.
Yeah.
I am so mad about this trade more than anything. The Colts get Zach Moss. I'm not a fan of Zach Moss. I feel like he's not worth anything. And they get a conditional 6th round pick. You're telling me you got rid of Naeem Hines for a 6th round pick?
You know, I definitely feel that there are a lot of Indiana fans that have that same feeling towards this trade that you do, and I'm not saying that I don't feel that way. However, at the same time, I'm not exactly sure of Hines' contract details, but we are in a need of certain positions right now to be filled, and they're probably looking to move some of our capital away from the team so that we can free up that space and be what the Colts need to be to actually make it to the playoffs.
I mean,
Reich
yes,
is trying to
but-
save his job right now.
So, granted, Deion Jackson, great backup. He's proven it. He showed it in games. So, yes, I see why they was like, okay, we're comfortable with moving Hines because Deion Jackson can take that spot. He's a great receiving back, a great just power back. But it's Hines, dude. He's been with us for so many years, and, you know, it's like you guys are talking about during the offseason, oh, we're going to use him as a wideout this year a lot more. And then, like, I personally feel that he was worth a 3rd round pick. Nothing less. Nothing more.
I definitely say that the Bills won that trade just because all we got was Zach Moss and a conditional 6th. Right. And I don't feel that Zach Moss will be much for our team. And I think that a 6th is just definitely way too high of a draft capital. We need like a 2nd or a 3rd for a Naeem Hines kind of running back.
Most definitely. So yeah, I agree with Bills winning that trade. Naeem Hines, I'm happy for him. He's with a team that could actually be Super Bowl contenders this year. So honestly and personally, Hines, I hope that you do go out and get this ring, man, because you deserve it after that whack trade. So
Hines, I hope you don't go out and get this ring, man, because that means that the Bengals did not win the Super Bowl again, and I'm at least hoping we make it again. That's what I'm shooting for right now.
Most definitely. And like you said about the Colts on rebuild mode, it seems like it. I'm scared of what they're probably going to do during the offseason, though. After this, and I mean, who knows if Reich's going to get fired, Ballard's going to get fired. I mean, right now I heard that Irsay's calling shots. So, but after all these trade talks, man, I guess we're going to see what happens today during Sunday football. So let's close it out and everybody get ready to watch football. And always remember to ball out on your fantasy.